Okay, so it is now Easter at 9:20 p.m. What? Anyhow. Alright, so I'm going to make a more Easter-related type of video. So today for Easter, I spent it with my granny at the assisted living facility, whatever it is. Because there's like assisted living, there's nursing home, or the old folks home, whatever you want to call it. I was there with my granny, just me and her. You know, okay, my grandparents are still at the beach. They decided to stay over Easter to avoid traffic, which is perfectly understandable. And plus, my cousins that live down there wanted to they wanted to spend Easter with them, and they also kind of threw my grandfather a sort of surprise birthday party at the Mexican restaurant today. And his birthday was a few days ago, but yeah, they surprised him with the whole sombrero and that whole deal. That's apparently a thing in Mexican restaurants here in the South. But yeah, they did that, and so that's why that's why I didn't spend my Easter with them. Plus, I have to stay here and watch after the animals. Anyhow, so we did that, and then so like most of my other family are like live elsewhere. I mean, some are in the States, some are in the South Carolina where our beach house is. You know, but like so I know why they didn't why we didn't do anything here, but like. As for visiting my granny, my aunt, her daughter, also lives in the area. Like, she lives closer to my granny than I do. I thought she and my uncle would at least swing by and tell my granny Happy Easter because, hey, it's her mother. But apparently, no. My aunts came yesterday and gave my granny some Easter stuff. I got my cat out. Yeah, kitty shirt. I think I got my cat's tail in the door. Whoops. Anyhow, so... Like, I thought, like, people would, like, my aunt and uncle at least would come over just to tell my granny Happy Easter or something, but it was just me. I am the only one that visited my granny over Easter, so I'm like, okay. I don't know what happened to our family, but okie dokie. So, yeah, there's that. And I think for the rest of this video, because, I didn't do anything for Easter. I visited my granny, helped her with her dinner, sort of. I mean, she got soup on her shirt, but, like, yeah. And, like, for dinner, I had Fruity Pebbles for dinner for this Easter. Woohoo! I'm sorry. What are you doing? Come here. Come here. I'm not looking. There you go. Okay, there we go. What are you eating? No. So it is Easter Sunday, April the 16th. Yeah, 16th, and it is, according to my car, 4:54 p.m. And I am headed to my granny's again. I'm supposed to be there at 5. Takes like 30 minutes to get there, so clearly I'm running late. Let's just face it, I am always going to be late to whatever it is I'm doing. Like, whatever it is, wherever it is, whatever time it is. Like I said before, I have every intention of being on time. It just never happens. For some reason, I always have to use the bathroom right before I go, and so it's going to take a while. I don't know why this is. You think, okay, if you know you're going to have to go, why don't you just go, like, a while before, like maybe go like an hour before you start getting ready, because an hour before I start getting ready, I don't have to go. So I mean, that didn't help. And so, you know, I'm not going to go into details because, yeah, I'm sure it happens to other people too. But so that's not the main thing. The main thing is, like, I actually do care about being on time. It's just that by the time I've calmed down and gotten to wherever it is I'm supposed to be, all the nerves are gone, so it looks like I'm perfectly calm and don't care about being late. But reality, I do. But the problem with that, I'm still like way up here in the anxiety level. Like I do have anxiety, but mine is very, very specific. It's about, my anxiety has to do with being late, like I am right now, and getting lost. The getting lost thing isn't really a problem anymore because we have smartphones and GPS, and that's not really a big deal anymore. The running late thing. So for some reason, whenever I get nervous, like I get really, really like physically slow. I move like I am going through a swimming pool of molasses or something. That's like a really random analogy, but like I am like your me. I am slow as your meemaw. I am trying to rush, but I am like slow brushing my hair, brushing my teeth. I am slow as hell. And like on the rare occasion that I can rush, I am like jittery and spastic, and I drop things, and like I can't hold it. Like if I pick up something, it's going to be floating across the room because I can't hold on to it because I'm so freaking jittery and spastic. So those are my options. That's partially why I'm late to everything. Either I am slow as hell, or I'm spastic and jittery and can't hold on to like a toothbrush. So yeah. Anyhow, so I just needed to complain about that and hope that like I had to steam my pants because they were in my granny's car. Like I didn't realize the back of them were incredibly wrinkly. So yeah, I had to get a shower. Like still trying to get my hair dry, and yeah, thankfully I can do my makeup really fast without wanting much of a problem. Yeah, and I can't really stop recording this, so this is gonna be quite a long video, I guess. I'm gonna try to work on that book that me and my granny are doing. I wanted to work on it this past Thursday, but yeah, that didn't happen because we had the dinner and then I had to go feed my dogs and cat and everything. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to work on that in a little bit. So my gran and pop are still at the beach, so Easter is just me and my granny. And this is a great view. I get here, but whatever. I actually would like to be able to show, on one hand, I would like to be able to show you the road, because this is just to show you the scenery. But then at the same time, I don't want you to know, like, I mean, I've shown it in some other videos, like, I don't want you to know the exact route I take from my house to my granny's. That's a little too much information, you know, but yeah. What else? Alright, so it's about 7 p.m. on Easter, and I'm I'm sitting in the parking lot of where my granny stays, and, like, I wanted to take her outside a bit, but, like, she needed to use the restroom first, but the people still haven't come from after she ate dinner, so, like, I didn't want to take her outside, and then you have to take her back in to use the restroom, or for them to help her with that, and then come back outside, and, like, I still haven't eaten, and I've still got to feed the animals, and, yeah, so that didn't happen, you know, timing, and, like, it's getting a little windy right now, so, and it's supposed to thunderstorm tomorrow, and Tuesday, mostly Tuesday, so maybe sometime next Wednesday or Thursday she can sit outside in the sun for a bit, but, yeah. That's kind of on me for not getting here on time, but, you know, it happens. So I'm going to, as soon as I find my card, head to Subway. Where'd the card go? If I have a card in here. So, what did I do with it? Did I not grab it? Shoobity-doobity. So yeah, we filled out most of this book here. A lot of it, I skipped over a lot of it because, yeah, she's 92. I just asked her about, like, some things from, like her parents' families, and, like, learned a few things. Apparently one of her aunts sang in the choir. Anyhow, so, got to talking to my granny, my great-grandmother, or biologically my great-aunt, but that's another matter. So, got to talking to her about her father's family, my great-grandfather, on the Smith side. Yeah. Me telling you that I'm part Smith isn't going to tell you anything about who I am, so let's just go ahead and go with that. So anyhow, the man died he died a year before my mom was born, so I never met him, but my gran called him Grandpa Smith, so I just referred to him as Grandpa Smith because I never called him anything, because like I said, he died before my mom was born, and he was actually born 100 years to the day that I was born, so, yeah, I think that's interesting. But apparently, so, Grandpa Smith had one brother, William, and they had a sister, Nancy, who, I dropped my subway card, apparently died when she was a little girl. My granny mentioned her, like, once before, like, ages ago, before she was in the nursing home, or the nursing home, assisted living, old folks home, whatever you want to call it. She's been here for, I think, like, 6 years, and then she was in another place, like, it's probably been, like, over 10 years since the last time I heard mention of this Aunt Nancy girl. And at first, when she first mentioned her, all she said was that she died young. Didn't know an age or anything, so I had no idea what died young meant. I didn't know if Nancy Smith died when she was 2, 12, 16, I didn't know what young was. I just know there was a Nancy Smith who existed that there were no records of. But I asked her about her again, and she mentioned, I didn't flat out ask her because I wanted it, because, sometimes when people are elderly, their memories can be not the greatest, and I didn't want to, lead her into a memory that she may or may not actually have, So she mentioned Grandpa Smith's sister on her own, and I'm like, okay, oh yeah, I'm sorry. She mentioned that he had a younger sister. And I was like, yeah, I remember you mentioning her, and she, what was her name again? What happened to her? Just trying to, ease her into the memory without, putting it into her head. Hopefully this is making sense. But she said the name Nancy again, so I'm pretty sure there was a Nancy, and she said that she died when she was 7, so this Nancy Smith died when she was 7, and I asked my granny, I'm like, do you remember if she was born before or after Grandpa Smith? And she thought a minute. It's like, nope, she couldn't remember that, so I don't know because Grandpa Smith was born in 1883. Yeah, so, and I know his brother William was born, I think, was it 1885 or 1887? I can't look it up on here, I'm talking to y'all. So Nancy was probably somewhere in there. Whoops. And I dropped my sunglasses. And I found Grandpa Smith in most of the census records. But in the ones I found him in, there's no Nancy in any of them. So, all I know about Nancy is she was born in Georgia, died in Georgia, buried somewhere in a church in Georgia, and she was 7 years old when she died. And I don't know anything about where she's buried or anything. So, I at least have an age to look for, so I can, I know